Welcome back to the semi-final round of our final Cup of Regulation F, our final tournament of Regulation F here at Psycho Turtle in Pico Rivera, California. Dennis Geisler, Lucy Parker, back with you, and we're about to get into this one. Jose Escamilla and Aaron Brok, top 4 semifinals. Jose running the Chen Pao Landorus Incarnate, the Raging Bolt, the Rillaboom, the Incineroar, and the Urshifu Rapid Strikes. Aaron running the Ogerpond Wellspring, that is the Urshifu Single Strike, the Indeedee Female, the Iron Crown, the Tornadus, and the Landorus. Very, very offensive team that Aaron has there. It's basically just all offense and supports, which is always what I enjoy.
Yeah.
And then on Jose's side, it's that Bolt Balance team that we saw earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think about this. The Chen Pao, something I noted earlier that it was a thing that came up in my head was that Chen Pao is Icicle Crash, not Ice Spinner, and everything else in this team is really reliant on priority. Or a lot of this team is very reliant on priority.
Incin and Rilla.
So it's going to be very reliant on Rillaboom to get terrain advantage to stop the Indeedee from having such a blocking effect on all the priority that Jose might want to do.
And then it's really up to Aaron. They'll just try to keep terrain control.
Yeah, it'll be a very terrain control type of battle, and Rillaboom does have U-turn, which should put it at somewhat of an advantage for that, but at the same time, if you're just clicking U-turn and switching it in, like, you do have to be worried about, like, okay, Indeedee swaps out and then just everything gets run over. It's Indeedee Landorus is the lead for Aaron against the Incineroar Raging Bolt for Jose. Keep in mind, the Landorus, assuming it does not Terra, will be able to be hit with Fake Out, because it is a flying type.
Yeah, but I don't know if it wants to... Tearing out of ground type is weird here.
It's a little weird, but also, I mean, if you Terra Steel, you're also blocking the Thunderclap.
Yeah, but you are opening yourself... Oh, wait, no, if you Terra Steel, you're fine. You're open.
Yeah, you're opening yourself up to some stuff later on, but you take less damage against Dragon Pulse. I don't know. I'm curious if Aaron wants to opt for this so early on, or if he'll play it a little bit slower. Because you could also just protect and potentially even switch out the Indeedee to try to slow down this battle. Especially knowing that, the Rillaboom might just come in and override the terrain, and it's not going to matter.
Which is it's a good possibility. Incineroar does not like staring down at Landorus in the face.
Yeah, Incineroar will just swap out, and it will be the Rillaboom coming in. Will Aaron call that play, though?
We're seeing a Terra here.
I'm going to see the Indeedee Terra, actually. It's going to be the Terra Fairy Indeedee, which actually makes it immune to... If it clicks Follow Me, it's immune to everything Raging Bolt does.
Yeah.
Which is really nice to have. Because you basically say, okay, Raging Bolt, either you waste your item, or you don't get to do anything. Landorus does go for the Sandseer.
That's fair. Helps cover for Raging Bolt.
Little chip.
Setting up.
Just a touch of damage. Yeah, it's not something you really think about with the Indeedee. That it is... you have to have a Terra on everything, and Indeedee is Terra Fairy for a reason. It's just, you don't usually see the Terra so aggressively used so early in the battle.
Yeah.
But when you see the lines, you see the lines, and I don't disagree with this choice from Aaron.
It's a really good call.
But you do, of course, have to be worried about it just getting hit really hard by other stuff on Jose's team. So Aaron will... I worry for Aaron just in the sense that I don't know if his damage is coming out fast enough. Raging Bolt will just switch out here.
Until the Landorus. Yeah, that makes sense.
Into the opposing Landorus. Indeedee does just click Follow Me again. I'm worried that Raging Bolt will come in later in the battle. Booster Energy is now burned, which is nice. Ooh, and it was Earth Power into that Landorus slot. If this is Woodhammer, that should be pretty good damage. Not enough to KO, but...
That's going to be a lot of recoil.
A lot of recoil as well. And that puts us in a weird spot where I think if you're Aaron, you want to try to get rid of this Rillaboom here with your Landorus, and potentially even try to switch out the Indeedee so that you can keep the terrain priority later on in the battle. But at the same time, if you do that, you do have to be a little worried about Landorus.
Yeah.
The other Landorus. And that's even aside from the fact of what do you switch into, because there's not a lot of stuff that's super safe. You kind of have to make a semi-hard read on some of this stuff. And that's even aside from the fact that Jose hasn't used his Terra yet.
Yeah.
Jose has shown all 4 of his Pokemon, though, and Aaron has only shown his leads until now.
Yeah.
But
we'll see the Indeedee swap out, and it's going to be Torn.
it is the Torn. I like this pick.
Yeah, that's fair. You're not taking a lot of damage from...
Yeah, you're not taking a whole lot of damage at all. Landorus does get the sub. If this is a Sludge Bomb from the Landorus into the Rillaboom, yeah, this is really nice for Aaron now. Gets that big KO onto the Rillaboom. Whatever switches in next to...
Incineroar is going to be...
Next to Landorus is going to be weak to the Earth Power.
Yeah, that's...
Which is nice by itself. You do have to worry a little bit about the fake-out pressure here, but... It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Especially because Landorus isn't... Jose's Landorus is doing kind of nothing right now.
You can just protect...
Like, you can take it kind of slow, take a Protect turn, do something with Torn, even get a Tailwind up, potentially. There's nothing really stopping you.
Yeah.
Or an Icy Wind, alternatively, if you want to break the sub. Because I'm almost certain that Icy Wind would take out the substitute there.
Yeah, probably.
And that's assuming Aaron wants to play this very slowly and safely instead of just kind of going more aggro earlier on.
Oh,
ooh, wow. No Protect. Just kind of says, yeah, it's fine.
Tailwind.
I guess it's not that big a deal. Because what's Landorus going to do to you?
Yeah.
Because it was probably always going to attack the Torn. So you might just say, okay, if you do something weird, then I'll be in a decent spot. And yeah, now that the Torn actually takes the Sludge Bomb, which I'm a little bit surprised about.
Not really. It's
I'm not stunned, I guess, but I'm a little bit surprised. That puts Aaron in a really good spot. Because you can kind of just Icy Wind Earth Power, or even Sandsear. Probably not Sandsear, probably just Earth Power.
Yeah, Earth Power it's just better to just Icy Wind Earth Power here.
And then I don't know what Jose does about it, other than Terra the Ensign and then just hope.
Yeah.
Aaron is running a little low on HP bars, not necessarily compared to Jose, but like if you really want your like a lot of Pokemon to be available to fight Raging Bolt at the end, could be getting a little bit low, but we will see the Terra on the Ensign, the Terra Ghost. Leaves it neutral to Earth Power. We saw it take one reasonably well in the previous game. Ooh, and Landorus actually protects, which is an interesting call. I guess kind of reading the play there, and
I guess just
I don't see Torn doing that from the other angle all that often. Just seeing go you. So it breaks the substitute with the Icy Wind. Also gets the speed drop, of course, on the Incineroar. Landorus with the Sludge Bomb into the other Landorus, not going to achieve anything there. And it was actually the double into that slot, so Aaron reading it perfectly, actually. And now if you're Jose, you have to say, okay, this is kind of concerning now, because Icy Wind might KO my Landorus.
It might be a bulkier Landorus.
But even if it doesn't, like, what do you do about that?
Yeah.
Like, you still get hit with a lot of damage here.
Whoop.
And even if you switch, like, you don't really want to get hit with Icy Wind, and you definitely don't want to get hit with Earth Power or Sandsear on Raging Bolt. So we will see the switch here. Landorus goes out, Raging Bolt comes back in. It is Icy Wind again. We'll see how much this does. It's not nothing to Raging Bolt.
Yeah. But I suppose the more valuable thing is the minus special, or the minus speed.
And it is the Earth Power into the Ensign. Not enough to KO, but still some pretty solid damage. The parting shot out. I think this is kind of the gambit for Jose at this point, is put Raging Bolt in a spot where it can click Calm Mind kind of a lot.
Yeah.
The problem is, even at -1, I don't know that Landorus is really that easy to stop from clicking Earth Power.
And Aaron also does have the option to just haunt the Bolt.
That is also true. Aaron does have the option to just taunt the Bolt. This Tornadus is just full of utility.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it would stop Raging Bolt from getting a Thunderclap off.
Oh yeah,
because it would be taunting into that slot, so it's not going to be able to do that. And even with all of that, if Aaron is able to clean the rest of Jose's team, and yeah, I was going to mention the Indeedee.
Yeah, Indeedee,
if Aaron's able to clean the rest of Jose's team, and Indeedee and something else is there against the Raging Bolt, the something else will win. Earth Power comes out against the Raging Bolt, that just KOs.
Yeah.
Even at -1, that just KOs.
That's...
Never mind then.
That's nasty, damn.
And the Sludge Bomb into the Indeedee. Hey, the Indeedee's not really necessary anymore, so you can bring the Iron Crown in now.
Terrain is...
Assuming the Iron Crown's there in the back, you can just bring in the Iron Crown and...
Clean up.
I literally think that, ooh, Tailwind down is potentially concerning?
Yeah, it means the land.
You might as well bring Torn back in and Tailwind, just to be safe, and then go for the Expanding Force, because I think Expanding Force KOs both these Pokemon right now.
Oh yeah, it does. There's no Assault Vest on the Incineroar. It is a neutral hit now, and not an immunity, very importantly.
Yeah.
That's the huge thing, is just losing...
I guess the concern, and yeah, I think the Iron Crown makes sense. I guess the concern would be...
The Landorus.
So the sequence of events that would need to happen for this to go, like, horribly wrong...
Speed?
It might be booster. No, it's special attack. Okay, it is a Calm Mind variant, but it is booster special attack.
That's true.
The sequence of events that would have to happen for all of this to go, like, horribly wrong for Aaron... I think Aaron can double protect this turn plausibly, and I think Jose's considering that just because if Iron Crown is slower than Landorus and Incin fake outs the Landorus, it's still really weird. And the thing is, Iron Crown can be timid and still get booster special attack.
Yeah.
So Landorus might... If Landorus is modest, it just kind of loses here.
Yes.
Incineroar fake outs, no protects. And we'll see. Landorus is faster than Iron Crown, so that's something we'll be able to note for later games. I don't think it's going to matter for this game because I think the Expanding Force will break the sub and take out the Incin.
Yeah.
And it should put Aaron in a spot where it's going to be very, very difficult for him to lose. Just because I think 2 Sludge Bombs will just get rid of Landorus on top of everything else.
Yeah.
Incineroar drops. But that is worth noting that, okay, we do know for sure that this Landorus is faster than Aaron's Iron Crown. And I guess I haven't been paying attention to see if the Landoruses are speed tied or not. I suppose that's probably an important thing to
yeah, we probably should have been paying attention.
keep an eye out for, but it's probably not that big a deal. Landorus switches out, actually, into Torn. I guess to get up the Tailwind again. I don't think this is particularly necessary, but I think Jose predicted the Iron Crown switching out into that, but just gonna go for the Tachyon Cutter, pick up the KO, and head to game number 2 with Aaron Brok taking a 1-0 lead. Definitely kind of funky game. The games where both of the teams have Landoruses, Landori, if you will, are always kind of funky, just because the Landorus is always threatening to one of the 2 Pokemon on the other side, but not threatening to the other Landorus. And so it's not like the Landoruses can really scare each other that much, unless they Terra, and that's the other thing where...
If both Landoruses Terra, then it's just...
then it's whichever Landorus hits the other first.
Yeah.
Because they're doing so much damage to each other. But... We'll see if either of these players
really
decide
weird.
to switch things up at all. I kind of like the idea
Yeah.
for Jose. The two Pokemon Jose didn't bring in the last game were the Chenpao and the Urshifu. For Aaron, it was the Wellspring and the Urshifu, I believe.
Yes. Yeah. That was exactly what happened last time.
The question is
last time.
the priority matchup overall, how that's
I mean, it
really
depends.
gonna
We'll
sort
see
itself
what Aaron's adjustments are, if
Yeah.
any at all.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that as well. He led Indeedee Landorus in the last game, which would obviously block the... Would certainly block the priority.
Yeah. But we'll see. Look at Indeedee Crown Lead is very aggressive. And
That's always something you have to consider as a possibility, is just the Indeedee Crown lead. But we're actually going to see the Double Genie lead.
But what are we going to see here? Oh, wait.
And it is Chenpao Urshifu on the other end. So,
Landers doesn't like to see this.
I like Double Genie lead.
I do love Double
I don't
Genies,
hate this for Landorus just because
You have Terra open.
you do have Terra available.
But
It's not great though, just because you don't get a KO on either of these Pokemon either way. So it's something Aaron has to think really hard about. Is like, okay, what are my Pokemon that are available right now?
Yeah.
Did the microwave just go off? That's crazy.
it lives.
Yo, my guy's straight up just using the microwave. That's so smart, actually. It's the smartest thing I've ever seen. What was I just about to say before I got really distracted by the microwave? We're gonna get a Terra here from the Tornadus. Again, it's really fascinating that Aaron's going for these terrastalizations that are kind of unusual. And on the supportive mons, the Tailwind will go up, so Landorus will get to do something here.
And
It does get the Sandsear. It double connects. It does. It brings Chenpao down to Sash. It does really solid damage to Urshifu.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice for Aaron right now. Ooh, it's Icy Wind into both these Pokemon. Landorus does take the hit.
Speed drop on Landorus is huge.
Does get the speed drop. Ooh, Surging Strikes into the Tornadus. Is it going to take the hit?
No, it's not.
It is not. But is that bad of a thing?
I mean, you've used Terra.
You've used Terra
for a neutral hit.
But on the bright side,
You have Tailwind up.
you have Tailwind up. That's the most important thing. Tailwind is up. And Iron Crown is in the back. And that guy's really cool. I mean, genuinely, at this point, you can just kind of bring Iron Crown, Lando, and click Tachyon, Sandsear, and see what they do. Because at this point, Jose will probably have to switch something. Or even Tachyon Sludge Bomb or something.
Yeah.
Because you do need to get rid of that Chenpao, and you do need to do it with some level of authority. But you also don't need to, if you read the Chenpao switching out just to be a nuisance later, you could do something here. I'm curious. You could also Calm Mind if you just say, hey, actually, Iron Crown's really safe right now, let's just click Calm Mind. You could do that.
Yeah, you're really good.
Although I don't know how successful that would be. Landorus switches out
this
into the Indeedee, which is interesting because I think Chenpao is now going to switch out into Rilla, which will set the priority for the terrain. Which is kind of unfortunate. That's the annoying thing about running Tailwind plus Indeedee, is that you kind of always end up not having the terrain advantage.
Yeah.
Aqua Jet into Indeedee. Not going to do very much, and will do damage back with the Rocky Helmet. Tachyon Cutter into the Rillaboom. Not a lot of damage. It does about half overall.
That's not
counting the grassy terrain recovery.
It's not terrible with both hits, but individually, that's
It's not great. It's not great, is what we'll say.
Yeah.
It kind of is Iron Crown against the world on Aaron's side at this point. Iron Crown at least needs to get rid of the Lando and probably at least figure out what they're doing about the Chen Pao. But also the real... There's so much priority on this team.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's just way too much priority on this team. It's actually really annoying.
Yeah.
Because that's like, okay, Grassy Glide almost certainly KOs the Lando. Aqua Jet almost certainly KOs the Lando. Sucker Punch or any ice move almost certainly KOs the Lando. Like, the Ndidi will swap back out to maintain some semblance of
terrain control.
Yeah. Because that's the other thing, is that Iron Crown will really need that terrain control in order to have any chance of winning this one. So, Landorus will pop out. Rillaboom clicks Fake Out on the Iron Crown, so won't get to do anything. Nothing really happening.
That's an annoying crit.
It's an annoying crit. Not a game-losing one, but certainly an annoying one. Now the question is, with Tailwind still active, what is available offensively from Aaron's side? Because now he has a very offensive duo out on the field. You have the Landorus, and you have the Iron Crown, and you also have the Ndidi, which can switch in right now and get the Expanding Force active. I don't know if that would KO the Rillaboom. I am almost certain that that would do a huge chunk to the Lando, although I'm not honestly certain that it would KO the Lando either.
I think it would, but you never know.
So we will see the Ndidi switch back in here. Because we could also see the Chen Pao switch in and block the... At least one side of the Expanding Force. Because we will see the Rillaboom switch out. And who is it?
Maybe Urshifu?
It is the Urshifu. So goodbye Urshifu, that's for sure. Landorus protects. Okay, so a very clean turn for for Jose overall, because you lose the Urshifu, which unfortunate, but not ultimately game losing, and you get Rillaboom back in.
Yeah.
The important thing, which is Rillaboom.
Then forces Aaron.
But you can't do that trick a second time. Well, actually you can, because Tailwind's off.
And you still have Pow in the back to really...
Yeah.
Well, okay, Pow doesn't do it. Pow matters more now that Tailwind's gone.
Man, yeah, like, Pow does matter now that Tailwind's gone.
But it's like for... but it doesn't do a whole lot if you can't keep terrain up. Like, sure, it will have okay damage into Ndidi, but it has a hard time hitting Crown with terrain up.
Yeah.
Crown just hits it once with a Tachyon Cutter and go bye-bye.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. But that does mean that Aaron needs to get terrain back active.
Yeah.
Which is the kind of annoying part. Because also then you might just lose the Landorus and go, okay, well then Rillaboom can switch out again. And then when Rillaboom switches in one final time, then it's able to get there.
A crazy call would be,
Sludge Bomb into the Ndidi. Ndidi did not switch. Tachyon into the Lando. That's not going to be enough to KO, unless it crits. So we're in pretty close spot there. U-turn into the Ndidi takes it out, so that is the terrain. Okay, so the problem here for Jose is all of his Pokemon are now on very low HP bars. Aaron has one low HP bar, but ultimately... it comes down to kind of a read here.
Yeah.
And not necessarily. I mean, it's because we know that Jose's Landorus is faster than Aaron's Iron Crown. We acknowledged that earlier.
But Sucker Punch.
Well, and the Sucker Punch, so it's Sucker Punch into Landorus and then Earth Power into Iron Crown, and no matter who protects, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, it KOs both slots, and if somebody protects, it doesn't matter that much. And this is the kind of spot where Aaron really wishes he didn't use his Terra on Tornadoes much earlier, because it would have been really useful to be able to pull out here for the Iron Crown.
Oh no, that's not something you want to see. I don't know why you tear it there outside of just showing off.
No reason not to.
Yeah.
Guarantee the damage. And Earth Power should be enough.
Anyways, but yeah.
And so we'll be on to game number 3 with the critical hit. Not sure.
I don't think that matters.
I'm pretty sure that did not matter.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's the whole point of Landorus, is that it KOs Iron Crown like that. But
it did not matter, but it hurts to see anyways.
Yeah. So
insult to injury, as I always say.
A nice win for Jose there, where he really took control of the terrain battle. And that's really deciding these games in a lot of cases, is just who takes control of the terrain and what are they able to do with the terrain when they have it active, especially with Jose having so many priority options. Aaron had brought the same 4 both games. Not brought the Ogre Pun or the Urshifu. Swapped around the order a little bit, but did not switch around.
No, it's single strike.
It is single strike, so it'd be kind of an awkward bring. I don't know that it's necessary to bring either of those, but it's worth noting.
Wellspring is good for the Lando and the Incense. I know, pretty much. But
it's good for the Lando mostly.
Yeah.
And it's not bad against Chen Pao, I suppose. Honestly, Wellspring could be kind of good against some of this team, but it's kind of a problem for Rillaboom, and certainly Raging Bolt are problems for it. I wonder if Aaron will just... I think Jose might be banking on it, saying, oh, I'm giving up on the Landorus here, I don't think it's going to actually do anything, and then going, okay, actually, haha. Raging Bolt, back out here. What are you going to do? And the answer might still be Indeedee has a really good matchup against it, but...
You really don't.
We will see. Game number 3. The winner of this goes to the finals. A lot of championship points on the line, of course. This is a cup after all.
Yeah.
It is Tornadus and Urshifu. That is different. Versus Incin Raging Bolt. So that's a bit of a switch up for Aaron's side.
Yeah, it is.
Seeing the Urshifu for the first time this set. And, I don't...
Unfortunately, it's a really bad spot for it.
It is kind of an awkward spot for it. I think that you could just switch into... Hard switch into Indeedee and get...
at least a fake out immunity.
Yeah, get the fake out immunity and try to do as much damage to Raging Bolt as possible. I assume Aaron knows those numbers better than I do.
Yeah.
In which case he'll probably... I almost dropped my phone. I'm fine, though. I didn't drop my phone. And in that case, I assume Aaron knows the calcs better, and we'll probably see what he thinks about that play.
Yeah.
It's torn out. It's probably in DDM.
Yeah.
There, in fact, is the Indeedee. So fake out is blocked. And it's U-turn.
Good chip.
Okay. And this means that Aaron knows that Jose's move is going to be either Calm Mind or Dragon Pulse. And Iron Crown is going to come out, and it is, in fact, the Dragon... Well, we'll find out in a moment that it's Dragon Pulse. Yeah, and so that should not do a lot of damage to Crown, but it does do some damage to Crown. Like, it's not meaningless damage. But Jose also has to be kind of concerned at this point, because Indeedee can do the Terra Fairy follow me thing, force Raging Bolt out, and potentially get a Calm Mind up on the Iron Crown, which could put us in a very weird spot. There is the Terra. That is the Terra on the Indeedee, as we were talking about, as we alluded to. The problem is, if we get into a Calm Mind war, you have to favor the Raging Bolt side simply because
That's the one that does it.
Because the Incineroar doesn't do a lot of damage, or because the Iron Crown doesn't do a lot of damage to the Incineroar, is the biggest concern.
Yeah.
Yep, we're Calm Minding. We click in Calm Mind in the in here.
Oh,
ooh, it's taunt into the Indeedee. That's actually really interesting.
That's huge. That means Aaron really kind of has to go for damage here. Can't protect him.
Yeah, the thing is, though, that Iron Crown is now at +1. And Raging Bolt is at +1 as well. But Iron Crown does have the opportunity to just start launching out, like, meaningfully stronger Tachyon Cutters and not having to worry that much about the damage from Raging Bolt because it resists everything. And so, Incin switches out, and I believe it will probably be the Rillaboom switching in.
Yeah,
yep.
That makes sense.
So the terrain is overwritten, and that also means that the Iron Crown is going to get some recovery. Ooh, Iron Crown actually protecting. It's the Indeedee going for the attack here. Aggressive Indeedee going for that dazzling gleam, and blocking the Dragon Pulse. Not a bad play altogether. This is not bad damage into the Raging Bolt. Let's go, Indeedee. Terra Fairy Indeedee getting damage done. That's a sweeper right there. At the same time, that was using Protect on the turn that a Fake Out user switched in.
That's pretty big.
And basically, it basically allows another Calm Mind to get up for the Raging Bolt, which is not ideal. So Indeedee will now switch out. We'll see what it switches into. It is the Torn, which has the Taunt. It can potentially stop Raging Bolt from doing too much setting up. So Iron Crown flinches there.
And
Raging Bolt gets the second Calm Mind, so yeah.
You don't want to see these starting to stack up like this.
That's true, but at the same time, I mean, it certainly could go either way at this point, especially because the Iron Crown is also setting up. Like, both these Pokemon are setting up in very similar ways. And
yeah, but
I'm very curious on how that's actually going to turn out. So we'll see with Iron Crown right here. I mean, we'll see if it wants to go for another... Okay, yeah, it is going to be the switch. I like this a lot. That's a really clever move from Aaron. Getting the Indeedee in here. It's still going to be awkward, but getting the Indeedee in here is nice. And I'm curious if Aaron is just going to go for another Calm Mind on the Iron Crown and just say, okay, we're Calm Minding. We're clicking Calm Mind here.
yeah, understandable. Neat camera trick.
Ooh, Iron Crown used Expanding Force. Okay, we're just going for it. Big damage onto the Raging Bolt. That's really good damage! Yeah. And a Dragon Pulsed into that slot. Okay, now Raging Bolt's actually got to be scared.
Yeah. Raging Bolt was...
Raging Bolt genuinely has to be concerned now. Especially knowing Iron Crown is it booster +1, so +2. It can Tachyon the Incin. It's not going to be great damage, but it can Tachyon the Incin. Not to mention Iron Crown has the Terra available.
Yeah.
Not that it really wants to use it, but it could.
Yeah, it really doesn't want to open itself up to +2 Dragon Pulses.
Well, it's less of that and more of the Wood Hammer in the back.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it's Dragon. Never mind. Maybe you do. Maybe you do feel comfortable clicking Terra kind of soon on Iron Clown.
You can't. This is why you can't click Terra.
Oh, because there's a Terra Indeedee. Just Terra your whole team. Tachyon Cutter into the Incin. It's damage. It's not a lot of damage, but it is damage.
That's pretty okay damage, honestly. Here comes the taunt again.
Yeah. I mean, Aaron's getting the better end of these trades overall.
Yeah. Because indeed he's still at full health, still capable.
Because what do you do here
Some damage.
if you're Jose and you say, okay, Raging Bolt probably drops a Tachyon here, or a single target expanding force. Do I get away? Is there a way to get away with this? Because indeed he swaps out again. And Torn comes back in.
Hello, Tornadoes.
So I think, ooh, it's Tachyon into the Ensign! Getting rid of the Ensign to potentially set up a win condition later in the game for Expanding Force. Because the problem is, if Jose switches in the Rillaboom here, Indeedee just comes back in, and we're clicking Expanding Force. And if he doesn't switch in Rilla here... yeah, you gotta switch in Lando, is the problem.
And even then, it's... Now you're just opening yourself up to Tailwind and...
It's a more difficult spot, though, for Aaron. And the problem is that Lando kind of has to switch out.
Yeah.
Like, Lando's in a perpetually strange spot where it has to switch out, but also has to not switch out. We could be clicking Terra on the Iron Crown right now.
Again, we're not.
We can't do that. Indeedee did it. I'm paying attention.
The Indeedee stole Terra.
The Indeedee is still terastallized. Just Terra all your Pokemon. I'm telling you, just Terra all your Pokemon.
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
No one can stop you.
I can consult the judges in between rounds. Why can't we Terra in between?
Why can't I just Terra all my Pokemon? See, there's the Terra. It goes onto the Landorus.
Yeah.
Thing is, we gotta keep in mind, the Urshifu's still in the back for Aaron, right? You still got that back there?
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's Tailwind. If it's Expanding Force... Let's see it. Expanding Force!
It's gonna hurt.
It'll get rid of the Raging Bolt.
Yeah.
It does good damage to the Lando.
Damage to the Landers.
And now, this game's over.
Yeah.
Sludge Bomb comes through onto the Tornadus, does not pick up the KO. Rillaboom comes in. Problem is, Rillaboom can't really do anything because Indeedee will switch right in and the Expanding Force will go through, picking up a lot of damage at least, and probably just certainly KOing the Lando if it doesn't protect. And okay, yeah, we're getting Jose's calling it. If we even get to see Jose's moves, it'll be
you gotta read.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Right, everyone pay very close attention. It was Fake Out into the lane.
Oh yeah, that's right, it still works!
It works? To your teammate? Why does that do that?
Why does anything in this game
why does it work like that?
Why does anything in this game do that?
Alright, in any case, that will be Aaron Brok winning 2-1. We will see him in the finals.
Against, I don't know...
We'll find out. Abi, who won?
Yeah.
And the other one. Okay, we've got investigative reporter Abi on the scene. Okay, so it will be Michael Wagner against Aaron Brok in just a moment for the Cup Championship. Real heavyweight bout. It's going to be very exciting. Heavyweight, metaphorically, I think both of them are pretty skinny guys. In any case, we will take a very quick break.
I just keep looking.
Hi, Abu!
Guest star Abu's thumb.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be back for finals. Don't go anywhere.